All right, welcome back. We're moving to March, April. When we get to here, there's only one actual game year left because in 45, it doesn't go all the way to the end of the year. Yeah, I still don't know how we're going to get through all this manufacturing mess, but we are going to produce two battleships. Both with an attack value of 5, so they're middle of the road. Off camera, I have our second largest Navy stack moving into Hawaii. And those two battleships will round it off a little bit nicer. That stack is going to have some nice submarines in it. It'll have, it should have just as many carriers now, so that's good. And then these light carriers are moving down, so they're going to be available soon. This is 2 submarines and a battleship, North Carolina, the Yorktown 2, and then the Iowa class. So we move those down, the 3 infantry move down, and this moves down. And remember, we said we only had 6 points for ships, and 2 of them was going to get, we're going to get a destroyer to escort our carrier, right? And then I have 4 points left. And I think I might just get I'm looking at my cruisers here. I think they're all 3 points. This battleships are 3. Yeah, 4 points is, like, we can get a light carrier going. There's the Bataan, San Jacinto, Cabot, Langley, Independence, Princeton, and Cowpens. I don't know, a little factoid about Jeff. I know I don't show my face much, and because I'm not trying to reveal, this isn't about me, this is about board games. But one little factoid, I used to work for the CIA, so we're gonna do Langley. There we go, right there. And I'm allowed to say that, by the way. I was never a private, confidential kind of employee. I was always publicly known. But yes, I worked on satellites because I'm an electrical engineer by degree. So I did some satellite work for them for about 2 years. So very early in my career. So it was quite a long time ago. And it was for Bill Clinton. And I was in the White House the day that Prime Minister Rabin was assassinated. So you can look that up. And I was in the White House that exact day, working, in fact. My security clearance was not high enough to stay. They kicked me out that day. Because after he was assassinated, everything got locked down. I met Socks the Cat. I've met George Bush Sr. I never met Bill. And I worked with Monica Lewinsky, but I didn't know her at the time because she was just some no-name intern. But yeah, she was there the same time I was. And I had no reason to work with her. I mean, she wasn't like an engineering intern. But yeah, I was there with her. And then, of course, that news didn't come out until like a year or 2 later. So anyways, that probably dates me as well as far as age goes. But yeah, it was a good time. Glad to have moved on. All right. So Langley is the name of CIA headquarters, in case you were wondering. So that's why we chose that one. I just built 6 points worth of ships, but I forgot to get my income. So my income for March, April is 29. And we get the full income this time. So I get to subtract, what, 6? So I'm going to grab 23. So 10, 20, and 3. All right, I'm going to put these 3 for battle plan points to help me in battles. We have 20 points we can spend however we want. Now, what's interesting is if I want to upgrade the aircraft lines, which I do, I have to put 10 points there, and I only have 2. So the max I can do is 6. So I'll go ahead and do that. And that means we now have 8 points out of the 10. So we still didn't unlock the industry because it takes more than one turn to get that industry unlocked. And let you take a good look at it. So you can see there, it says max 6, I need 10. I only had 2 on it, so we just put 6 towards it, so now we're at 8. So if I spend 2 more, I can, finish it off. I know people have been suggesting, why don't you spend points to rush? As you can see, it only costs 2 points to rush, but that's 2 points I could spend on scouting. That's 2 points I could spend on other things. Now, if I put 20 points here, it lets me get 1 free rush each turn. That's an interesting concept, but I think I want to max out these first so I can get the production lines rolling. And we just tried to do the error. So if we wanted to max out, for example, the infantry, I'm only allowed to put 8 towards the infantry superior, and I need 20. So it's going to take me 3 turns minimum to unlock that one, and then I can put 15 towards the shipyards. But again, that's going to take me 3 turns minimum. And 15 is such a hefty price. 40 is super hefty. But I do have extra points, so I can do something somewhere. I mean, part of me is interested in this because, you know what, maybe I don't need to spend points on that. If I get free rushes each turn, then I'm constantly producing things so quickly that I don't need the extra capacity. That's big brain there to start to think that way. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put 10 points towards this line so we can start getting a 1 free rush each turn, and then that in turn might help us to produce things quicker, which then means I don't need to go after these big upgrades up here. And it gives you like this senator, you actually get higher points at the end of the game if you can become president of the United States if you can unlock the last one. So I'm going to do that, and then I have 4 points left. We can use them to scout, which considering the strength of my Navy right now, scouting may not be a bad idea because we can really make a plan on what to do. So I will do that. I'm going to spend 4 points to scout, and we're going to use our new scouting rules. And then I have 3 supply points for the actual battles. So let's look at what's not moving. And because of the 1944 rules, anything that's on an objective doesn't move. So Japan's just building up their strength on all these islands and staying put. So all these planes, all these battalions, everything is just staying put. This one's staying put for different reasons. And so Okinawa, so Okinawa is not doing an order per my house rule. And I want to use a blue one, not a red one, not a blue one. And then here, this one's stacking up big as well. Okay, and then as far as fleets that are holding, Battleship Fleet 1 is holding, even though they are down to 1 ship. Carrier Fleet 4, now this was the mistake I made, remember? Carrier Fleet 4 is actually full strength, so they are holding at the objective. Surface Fleet 1 is holding, Carrier Fleet 3 is holding. Now this would not have happened, but because of my mistake, my retcon mistake, it has to be this way. And then Carrier Fleet 2 over here has to move, because that's now a US objective, and he's definitely not full strength. He's down to 1 ship. Surface Fleet 2 is full strength. Surface Fleet 1 is not. So Surface Fleet 2 will be the one that holds. Surface Fleet 1 will not hold, okay? So that's the hold rules. And you can count 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to be amped up all the way. And that's also per my house rule, is that we're going to apply the resupply to the hold orders first before scouting. And then we do the scouting from here. So what are we going to scout? Well, I want... I don't even care where Carrier Fleet 2 goes. he has a submarine and that's it. So I don't care about him. Surface Fleet 1 has 1 destroyer only, but he does have 3 transports, so he can be a little deadly with the, you know, the landing. Surface Fleet 3 has 2 ships. I mean, we're getting to a point where they're not very formidable, but I think I'm going to roll for the 2 carrier fleets that are in Japan. So there's Carrier Fleet 5 and Carrier Fleet 1. So those 2 I'm rolling for. I get to do 4, so I might as well. I'm rolling for everything but this surface fleet, because there's only 4 left. So, and that's part of the reason why I came up with these rules. We're going to have, like, since we spent 4 points. Now remember, those 4 points are enough to build a light carrier. So I'm spending the same number of points it takes to build a light carrier to just be able to scout. So to me, the information needs to be worth it, right? And so by being able to scout 4 more of their fleets and only having 1 fleet left to roam, I'm basically taking command of the board, but I'm paying a price for it. So I think that's a fair trade. And I'm going to have a lot of knowledge and information. So I'm going to start with the ones in Japan, and then I'm going to go to this one, and then this one will be last. And my logic is they're rolling really high right now. So I want the Japan ones to roll high, and then these other ones can hold or whatever. So let's do this. So Carrier Fleet 5 is going first. They're actually really weak. So 1 plus... Oh. We were doing this wrong. We got new numbers. And it's a 6 now instead of an 8. So we did the last turn wrong. My apologies. So 1 plus 6 is 7. So it's a refit, which becomes a hold. So they're holding anyways. Carrier Fleet 5. And 3 planes are holding with them. Okay, so now we move to Carrier Fleet 1. 4 plus 6 is 10. It's a withdrawal, which also becomes a hold. So they're both just holding. And 3 more planes holds with them. All right, so we're not getting anywhere here. Surface Fleet 3. There's a 10 plus a 6 becomes a 16. They're going to reinforce an objective with Japanese forces ashore. So they could reinforce this, but it's basically, we're going to roll a 10-sided die. We're going to go down this, go down here, and then go up that way. A 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They're reinforcing here. Surface Fleet 3. And they do take one of the infantry from Japan because they moved like so. Okay? All right, next one is Surface Fleet 1. The last one. Again, that's a 10, so we're going to do the same thing. And I rolled a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got to go up to a 6. So there's a 2. So that's interesting. Surface Fleet 1 is joining Battleship Fleet 1 at Borneo. So Borneo is going to become a little bit of a battle, but each of these fleets only has 1 ship in them. So, but Surface Fleet 1 brings with it transports, and they have 3 infantry on it. That's the big thing about Borneo. And then all I have left is Carrier Fleet 2, which will have to roll normally. And that's where we are next. Basically, Carrier Fleet 2 is going, and then Japan. And that's all we have left. So the rolling is actually very interesting now. Carrier Fleet 2, that's a 1 plus 6, that's a 7. They're going to refit in Japan, so they go back to Japan. Okay, and then now I'm rolling for infantry and a bunch of planes. So this is a 1 plus 6 is 7. That's another refit, which becomes a hold order. So 1 infantry and 3 planes are staying. Again, here's a 5 plus 6 is 11. They're going to support, so I'm going to roll a 3. So they're going to go support wherever Japanese forces are ashore. 1, 2, 3 is here. So this infantry is joining the attack. And then the support brings 2 planes. So 2 planes are landing in Borneo. So Borneo is shaping up to be a bit of a battle. Keep going. All we have left is planes now. 5 plus 6 is 11. So another support roll. This one, they're going to the Philippines, 2 planes, and we are done. So I'm just removing some tokens here, those little bingo chips, and then we'll take a look at the board and figure out our strategy. I have been in the back of my mind wanting to take Wake Island and just kick them out of the, this half of the ocean for quite a while. With that said, Carrier Fleet 3 is a full-strength fleet. They are missing a battleship, and that's it. But otherwise, they're full strength. So Carrier Fleet 3 is holding Wake Island. If I go there, that's the only thing I do. I'm going to have to send my whole Navy against that. Surface Fleet 2 is also a full-strength fleet, and they're holding the Marshall Islands. So both of those are going to be big battles. So part of me is like, I'm not as concerned about them. The Caroline Islands, oh crap. I made a big mistake, didn't I? I wasn't supposed to know what the rest of, after the scouting, I was supposed to do my movement. I cheated a little bit too much here. Okay, so I gotta pretend like I didn't know those guys were going to Borneo. The thing is I would have known that 2 fleets were going to Borneo. That part I did know. I just didn't know extra planes and stuff like that were going there. But anyways, my analysis stands in that regard, right? Those are going to be big battles, even though I want to take them. This one here, there is no land battle, but Carrier Fleet 4 is full strength, and I mean full strength. I mean, they have 2 full carriers, 1 light carrier, a battleship, and a destroyer. So this is a juicy target to just take out, right? Go there, take it out, and win, right? The thing is that knowing that these 2 were both in Borneo, and they brought with them, I knew that we had at least 3 infantry there. I didn't know about this 4th one. I didn't know about the planes coming and reinforcing, so that's the only information I wouldn't have known. I really would have gone to support that battle because I got 2 Marines there. I don't want to lose them. I only have 2 planes there to help them. And to be quite honest, we have everything else under control. There's no reason to not go there, other than to be aggressive and try to take more objectives. Caroline Islands would just be nice to take because it's just so juicy all alone. But so let's figure out some things. Caroline Islands is something I would have sent this Marine to because I think that this Marine can take them all by himself. But since I goofed up and I know that nobody actually came to reinforce the Caroline Islands, it would be wrong of me to take advantage of that this turn. Even though I've done that in the past, it's a strategy I do. It usually backfires, but in this case, of course, it wouldn't have. So let's look at our ship situation and just how many ships can we send. I really do love the idea of taking this down, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. And then the next turn, I'm going to have no ships at all other than what I produce. So we got a battleship, a battleship, a battleship, carrier, cruiser, 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 submarine, carrier, carrier, submarine, and 3 destroyers for the carrier. So we have 3 carriers, 2 subs. Ooh. I could send these 2 subs after the carrier fleet. We've done it before, folks. We've done it before. And then everything else just helps me with the other battles. I actually think that sending all of this to Borneo is a little bit on the overkill side. But, because Battleship Fleet 1 has 1 ship, and Surface Fleet 1 has 1 ship. There's really only 2 ships there that I'm dealing with. So what would I have done, knowing what I know? Well, I wanted to go after him to take this down. I also wanted to go after Wake Island. Those were the 2 things I wanted to do. To help out against Battleship Fleet 1, I actually think all I have to do is send 1 carrier. Because I wouldn't have known that they were going to have planes, right? And at the moment when I would have made this decision, they would have had no planes. So I could have sent like the Yorktown, which is the weakest of the carriers, along with a destroyer, right, as potential escort. And then I would have sent probably one of my battleships or one of the cruisers. Oh, this is the one that got nerfed. So in 43, he was a 342, and then in 1944, look how weak he got. I don't know if that's a typo, or is there some historical thing about the St. Louis and Helena that they nerfed it? I mean, he was more powerful in 43. So yeah, I'll send him along. Why not? He's a Nerf ball. So how would I have done the rest? So yes, I would have sent those to help out with Borneo. I probably would have sent some infantry to help out Borneo. One of the reasons I want to take Wake Island is because I have Midway Island and I have a bunch of infantry sitting on it. And I would like to get them off of that. I also have this Marine that can invade somewhere, right? And you get a nice bonus when you invade. So that's sort of my thoughts, right? So do I go after Carrier Fleet 3, for example? But Carrier Fleet 3 literally has 4 carriers. Now, they're not all full size, but it has 4 of them. So going after Carrier Fleet 4 is not in the cards if I do that. And then the submarines would be needed with me to go after Wake Island. And you know what? I'm going to go after Wake Island. This guy right here will hold. And so unless they try to invade the Solomon Islands, he's a juicy target for some future turn. But remember, next turn we're not going to really have a Navy, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, so everything I have, we're going to take on Carrier Fleet 3 and Wake Island. So let's take that objective, because I want to push the Japanese out of there. And then all of these infantry are going to land. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see here, this one's a weaker one. So he's going to come to the Gilbert Islands. So this one becomes available. And then the Marine's going to become available. So all of those will be on a transport to take Wake Island. And this is basically going to be like an invasion force that we're going to try to use from here on out. And then the Aussies, I'm building 3 Aussie infantry, which will then allow me to take the guys off of New Guinea and and maybe even the Solomon Islands, and I can start, using them to defend the Australian locations. Then I can use the U.S. infantry to push. So my apologies. I shouldn't have had the information I had about Borneo, but the way I divided it up is probably how I would have done it. I don't think I would have sent a full fleet to help out with Borneo, and so I think this will be fine. Okay. So we have Borneo and Wake Island. Technically speaking, Carrier Fleet 4 could attack the Solomon Islands. I'm not going to. I just think it's a cheesy rule. I mean, so basically what would happen is their planes would do a sortie against Solomon Island and they would just bomb the islands and possibly, hurt our troops. I guess I forced him to do a hold order, so why wouldn't he do that? Okay, yeah, they're gonna, because I didn't do anything about them having a fleet there, I guess they get a free pot shot at all of our guys. So what I could have done was I could have sent planes. So let's think about that then. I have a 2-6 here, for example, that I'm gonna send over to Borneo, and then these 2 are 6-4, and I would send them to the Solomon Islands so they can help out there. And unfortunately, I have no other planes. I mean, I'm just so low on planes. I have 3. Well, actually, I have 2 more here. This one's a nice fighter, but these are fighters as well. I wouldn't have known that they weren't going to attack New Guinea, so I would have left him there. But yes, that's what I would have done to deal with Carrier Fleet 4. Again, I still could have possibly left my submarines there to harass them. That would have helped me to sink some of these carriers. It's still a good idea. I'm going after Carrier Fleet 3, which also has a bunch of carriers, but you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to take my submarines out of this fleet. And we're going to use them to go after Carrier Fleet 4 along with these 2 planes. Let's see what we can do with it. I'm just going to end up getting shot down with my best planes, and that's the thing I don't want, but it's all I can do because I chose not to go after Carrier Fleet 4. Or you know what I could do? I could reverse it. I could reverse this. So I leave these 2 guys here, right? My Navy will go after Carrier Fleet 4, and then my subs will go after Carrier Fleet 3. And we'll still do our naval invasion of Carrier Fleet 3. So we'll try it that way. Ugh. It's still a little ugly, but yeah, I don't think I can afford to keep him here. Okay, so we got Borneo, we have Solomon Islands, and we have Wake Island. So let me get those. Oh, I just knocked over a bunch of stuff. Even Alaska, this is the only one that I see that adds help to the USA, is if they attack Alaska. Jesus. And they never attacked Alaska in all 4 of my playthroughs. Yeah, Iwo Jima's awful. Okay, I'm trying to find Wake Island. Where did it go? There it is. All right, and 1 second, I gotta pick up the stuff I just spilled over. It was all my ships that are queued up for production got knocked over. Okay, first up, Wake Island. Before I even put the troops on, we're doing 3 battle turns. Wake Island is going to have 2 submarines for us. Carrier Fleet 3 is going to be 4 carriers. And 2 infantry is coming with them because they did have infantry on them. And so those infantry will be in transports. So I know I like to get lazy and not put them up in the ocean, but they're all technically up here. It's just harder to get them on the camera. And so you can see they're the weaker carriers, right? They're all escort or light carriers, and they have a 2-1 anti-air. They're actually going to be pretty easy to take out if I ever get to do a bombing run against them. But basically, the 2 light carriers are going to have 0s. And dive bombers. If I can find them. So this is the 2 light carriers. They each have 1 dive bomber. And then the 2 escort carriers are just going to have the same, except for they don't have a 0. So it's going to be like this. So this is 1 carrier, 2 carrier, 3 carrier, 4 carrier. So it's not a lot of bombers if you think about it. We have 3 turns, and we're going to have a mountain of infantry trying to land on the beach, right? So a whole bunch. So in 3 turns, they will get to attack on the 3rd turn. And I think there's at least 1 Marine in there who will get to attack by turn 2. The invader may not have airfields. If the U.S. has never held this island, they do get 1 fortification. So let's give them that. And then on the island itself, they have 3 planes, which don't do anything against the submarines, but that'll harass our troops. And they also have 2 battalions in foxholes. So I always think of Fargan Ice Hole, you know, that movie with foxholes. I just have a warped mind, I'm sorry. It's a very funny movie if you've never seen it. Okay, so how many battle plans do they get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're going to get 3 battle plans for this. And we have 3 points. So remember, we only have infantry. We are going to have leathernecks because we have Marines. So we can do that. And then, you know, because the whole purpose of this is for my submarines, I'm going to do reroll a torpedo roll, right? So that's 1 of our points. And then we can do artillery if we wanted. I don't think we should. I think we should do the reroll an infantry attack. And then well, actually we should do adjust battle duration by 1. This may not go our way. So let's see, there's 3 of them. All right, so if I did adjust battle duration by 1, I'm gonna have to spend a point. I'm okay with that. Let's spend a point. I'll spend 1 point at each location. So I have 2 left. I mean, maybe I'm gonna be more desperate to spend points elsewhere, but this is worth winning, or trying to. So we'll do that, and now we draw their 3 plans. So as long as I don't get the depth charge one, we should be good. First light, they are going to attack our invisible carrier group. And air combat, this is not good for us. That's actually very not good for us. Kamikaze, this one does impact us now because it's 1944. So it's a 10 bomb rolls versus ships. Inflict 1 extra hit, destroy. I need to look this one up. We've never used this one, of course. All ship and land-based bombers are assumed to roll a 10 U.S. Ocean for their attack area. All bombers inflict 1 extra hit if they attack a ship. If there's no U.S. ships in the battle, this battle plan has no effect. Then destroy the aircraft participating in the attack against the ships. Oh, so all the aircraft gets destroyed. Oh. So everybody's kamikazing against our transports. Oh, that's wicked. But they do an extra hit if they hit. Oh, man. And then they get an extra to their bomb roll here. So we could actually, we may not like the outcome of this. This may go very, very badly. Oh my gosh. Oh man. And the leathernecks doesn't happen until we get on the island. So we got to survive this first turn. Ooh. Okay, everything they have is going against our transport. I mean, everything. I'm not even going to bother moving them. You can see all the planes and whatnot. It's going to be 4 dive bombers, 2 Zeros, 2 land bombers, actually 3 land bombers. The land bombers actually have a better sea attack than the than the dive bombers do. This is actually quite scary because if they do 2 hits, they're literally, every hit they roll is killing one of my infantry. Oh, that's not good. Wow, what a nasty battle plan. I thought that I was going to be able to sneak a nice little victory here, but this is definitely going to make us suffer. All right, there's no anti-air, so they're literally rolling 4 3s, and we got to pray for as many misses as possible. All right, and then because there are 3, they add +3 +2, so it's actually a 6/2. Yes. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. And then it's 5, 6, 7 hits because of the kamikaze. So 7 hits from their planes. And then they have 3 land-based. So this one will be the 2, and these are the 4s. So these 2 miss, but this one hits for 3 more. So that's 10 hits. They're destroying 5 of our infantry. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They wiped everything out. And those were some formidable infantry. Oh, wow. Now, what's interesting is their airplanes are all destroyed, but only these 3 mattered because the rest of them are carrier planes. So nobody cared about the carrier planes, but our land-based forces are all gone. And I guess the Zeros are technically still alive, but who cares? They're not going to do anything. And I'm going to just put these guys back on the island because Wake Island is secure for them. So now it's just a submarine battle for 3 turns. So, holy buckets. This is gone. This is gone. Oh, you suck, Japan. All right, so we're going to roll 2 4s. And I rolled a 1 and a 5, so I'm going to re-roll a torpedo roll. And it's a 7, so I still hit 1 time. So one of their carriers is damaged. And now they get to roll 2 1s, and they miss. So that's the turn. So I'm going to increase the battle by 1 turn, so we still have 3 turns left. And this goes away. And they're going to draw 3 more battle plans. 1, 2, 3. So the only thing that impacts them is they get to add an extra battalion. Yay, Japan. We attack with 2 4s. That's a 7 and a 6, so we missed. They attack with 2 1s. They miss. We have 2 turns left. 3 more battle plans. The one where we can't attack in the Japanese Ocean is coming. Can't keep missing it. Attack +1, adjust the duration by 1, and submarine warfare +4 +2 on depth charge rules. So that's going to help them. We used ours. Believe it or not, they're going to increase the number of turns by 1 because the rule is if they have more forces than me, they'll increase it. So that's actually going to give us more time, and they get a +1, which is helping their depth charge roll. So we roll 2 4s, and we miss again. Jesus. Now they're going to roll 2 1s, but because of this, it's going to become a 6/2. Ooh, this is bad. There's a 6 and there's a 1. Damn it. One submarine is damaged, the other one is sunk. All because of that battle plan. Yeah, so now they happily increase the number of turns. I'm too reckless with my submarines, I think. 1, 2, 3. So here's no contact, no contact. We drew them both in 1 turn. So that's good. Now we're down to 1 turn. When there's no contact, there's no battle in the ocean. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So we move to our final turn. We roll 2. We miss. They roll 1. They miss. Battle over. We do have 1 repair we're going to have to do. And of course, we lost a sub early in the year, so we don't get to use it again. So that stinks. Oh, why am I doing this? They just all go in a cup. All right. Okay, that didn't go anywhere near the way I planned. I didn't even get to sync their carriers, which was the whole point of rolling 4s. I mean, 40% chance of hit, and we had like 5 battle rounds. You would have thought we would have done something, but we didn't. Carrier Fleet 3 stays alive, very alive, in fact. Now, this 4th carrier is damaged, so it will go to the bottom of their repair stack. But we leave it here because it subtracts from their reinforcement roll. Just 1 point, but it's something. Okay, very sad face there. We moved to Solomon Islands. Solomon Islands is an interesting battle as well. We have the carriers, 2 of them in fact, and 2 escorts, right? And then everything else, we got 3 battleships and 3 cruisers. So we do have 4 infantry in the foxholes, but I'm not going to bother because Carrier Fleet 4 doesn't actually have any infantry. It's just, this is just a sea battle. Now, if they want to bomb the island, I will damage the infantry, but just so you know, we have 2 Australian infantry that are 5 value each, and 2 American ones that are also 5 value each. I'm not going to bother putting them on the map. And then Carrier Fleet 4. So this is the thing we really wanted to go after. So now we're getting what we asked for. We may regret it. So we have the Soryu, full-size carrier. I'll just put it here. We have the light Zuihu. We have the full-size Akagi. We have a destroyer and a battleship. So let's roll even odd. Odd, the destroyer's escorting them. And yes, I got to get the infantry out now because the battleship is actually going to be hitting our infantry. So that's a potential issue. All right. So, fight, just like that video game, fight. So let's do it. I have 3 battle plan points. I'm actually, well, let's see how many turns it's going to be. I rolled a 6. That's going to be 3 turns. I'm going to take the one where a bombing success does an extra hit. I think that's the right move in this case because I want to sink those carriers as much as possible. And I'm not spending any more battle plan points. That's all I'm going to do. I can't like stop a hit for my infantry. I mean, I could try to stop a hit, but that costs 4. And I'm not willing to do that. So I think I'm just going to have to accept the fact that I'm losing a lot of infantry this turn. We lost 5, and now we're going to lose possibly 1 or 2 more. All right. Probably the most painful thing is getting out my ships, or my planes. So our carriers are both Essex class. No, they aren't. So both carriers have this layout of bombers. So we have 2 sets of this. And I know it sucks because I make you try to imagine we have more than what you see, but it's going to speed this up a little bit. And then I will get out the 3. So we have 2 of these on one carrier and 1 of these on the other carrier. So we have 3 Hellcats and then 2 sets of those bombers. That's what we have. Now they have 2 full carriers, which means they have 2 zeros. And then they have a light carrier, which means they actually have a 3rd 0. So 3 zeros for them. And then they're going to have 3 dive bombers and 2 torpedo bombers. So that's their makeout. Okay. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're going to draw 2 battle plans instead of 3. That's helpful. And off we go. So the first battle plan is submarine warfare. And the second one is artillery. So neither of those are helpful to them. Well done. We're going all in. We're going after their carriers. And so there will be, now they get to roll for their bombers. So for the blue one will represent the light carrier. These will be the full carriers, okay? All right. The light carrier is going after our carriers. So 1 dive bomber is coming after us. This roll of a 1 means they're going after the island, and the 5 means they're going after the island. So I should have, I wasn't thinking. Damn it, I got 2. These don't need to go after their carriers because they're not going to roll that. And then I would want to defend my own carriers. So I'm going to put 1 here. I probably would have, I would have put 1, 1, and 1 like this. So I'm sorry, I should not have known this information, but these 4 are going after the island, like so. Okay, so now we got to do the zeros, and I'm just going to roll 3 dice for the 3 zeros. Okay, this one is protecting the carriers. This one's the island, and that one's the island. So 1's going to stay behind for the carriers, and then these 2 are going for the island. So the island's getting heavily attacked. All right, so now we do dogfight, and I have an 8-4 protecting my carriers. I rolled a 1. So I completely destroyed this before it had a chance to do anything. They have 6-3 protecting their carriers. They rolled a 6. So one of our torpedo bombers is going to take a hit. So I'm going to get out a second one and flip it over. That's how I'm going to do it. I'll get them out as they need to be taken out. And then for the dogfight on the island, they have 2 6-3s. That's a 10-4, good buddy. So they're going to take 1 hit. I'm taking 1 hit. And then I have an 8-4. I have an 8, so I do 1 hit. So my guy takes a hit, but I do a hit, and it's going to be against a 0. I can't hit anything else. All right, so they get to drop all their bombs. So they have 2 3s and 2 2s. Here's the 2 2s. That's 1 hit. Here's the 2 3s. Those are misses. So it's already started the carnage. So we're taking 1 hit with that infantry. Now here's our moment of truth. We get to roll 3, 4. Because we have 2 carriers, we're rolling 5 6s. And then we're gonna have to roll 2 because our torpedo bomber took a hit. 1, 2, 3 hits from those. And then our torpedo bomber hits with a 2. That's a miss. I don't think, yeah, we don't have fighters. So we did 3 hits, and then this makes it a 4th hit. So what I love about this is, other than the fact that the camera just moved everything, 2 full-size carriers are going down. The Akagi and the Soryu, both gone. And so all that's left is the Zuiho, and so that means one dive bomber gets to land, and 1 0 will get to land. Everything else of theirs is destroyed. So that's going to make our land troops a little bit, breathe a little bit nicer. So now their battleship gets to go. He rolls a 5, and so he hits. And I'm just going to it's going to cost me a fortune to repair everything, but I'm going to try to save my infantry. So I'm just going to roll down one hit at a time. Now, we get to do actually quite a bit of damage here. So we're going to roll 3 4s, and this is going to hit their battleship. And of course, I miss with 3 4s, which is not going to hit their battleship. So and then I get to roll 3 5s because I have 3 battleships of my own. So come on. There's 2 hits right there. And the Fuso Yamashiro is sunk. So we've successfully beaten back a whole bunch of them here. And then now we move to turn 2. So unless we draw the no attack in the ocean, we got this. So here's the, well, let me shake it up. Here's 1. So their anti-air is going to be really good. Oh, they get a battalion. That's a weird one. And they get to stop a hit. All right. So let's get their battalion, which is a strange twist of events here. I guess he goes in the foxhole. All right. And what are we doing with our bombers? We're going all in. And I'm sending my fighters to protect. I'm leaving 1 fighter to protect our carriers, and then the other 2 fighters are going to protect the island. Okay, so we're all in against their carrier. 2 fighters protecting the island, and 1 is protecting our carrier. So let's roll for them. They have, sorry, I'm killing another one. They have just 1 bomber, and he's going after the island. And then the 0 is going after the island. So so now we're at the island. Their 0 is going to roll a 6-3. He does hit, and he's going to hit twice. So that's going to destroy one of our planes. But we roll an 8-4, and I rolled an 8, and that's 1 hit. And then I have a 4-2, that's a 1. So we hit the 0. The 0 gets completely destroyed with 2 hits because of the 1. And then I have 1 hit on their bomber. So that's going to happen. And then we're going to lose a Hellcat. He did his job. That's it. Nothing left for them. So now we move to the actual bombs. Our fighter gets to drop a bomb and can hit with a 1. Okay, he misses. Oh, I'm sorry, anti-air. So they get a bonus to their anti-air. A 3-2 bonus. So the destroyer is going to roll a 5-2. And that's a 1. So they're going to do 2 hits. So they just destroyed a torpedo bomber. Okay. All right. And then the carrier gets a 5-3. That's a hit. So the other torpedo bomber that was damaged, it's out. So now I just have 4 left. Oh, you know what? I was using a Japanese. Holy buckets. So our torpedo bomber, if he was damaged, would have attacked with a 3, not a 2. I don't think that would have mattered. So anyways, so this is done. And now we get to drop bombs for 4 ships, 6 each. Come on, hits. 1, 2, 2 out of 4 hits. They stop one of them, so only 1 hit goes through. And so we're going to damage the carrier, but not sink it. Dang it. But they're out of planes now. So all their planes are destroyed. And we still have 1 more battle turn left. So this is where the no attack in the ocean is going to happen, because they're going to slip away. Oh, no, they stop 1 hit. And they stop another hit. And air combat. So, boy, we got lucky there. I just realized I didn't forget there needs to be the land combat because of that stupid battalion. So I'm going to roll my battleships first, 3 5s. There's 2 hits. Their battalion's destroyed, so no worries there. We're going all in again against them. They have no planes left, so they're just going to do anti-air. So it's a 2 and a 1. The blue will be the 1. That's a 2, but I said that was going to be the 1. So we got lucky there, and then we're rolling 4 dice. 6 is hits. There's 2 hits, but they stopped both of them, and screw you, Japan. They're going to walk away with 1 carrier left. I was hoping to get them all. It's Pokemon. All right. It was still a very good day for the good guys. Oh, my fighters get to attack. So there's a miracle chance that they might hit. I have 1 fighter attacking with a 2 and 1 attacking with a 1, and the blue will be the 1. No hits. So, worth a shot. All right, so 2 of my infantry took damage. I guess I saved a battle plan point, so I guess I'll spend 1 of them to just repair that. But the Solomon Islands, I think would have been damaged way, way more if I didn't go to defend them. And now that they're not full strength, they won't be holding at the U.S. objective, and so they will retreat next turn. And this is going to reduce their reinforcement roll by 1 as well. So Carrier Fleet 4 is now down to 2 ships, and soon going to be down to 1 because that light carrier is actually going to get sent in for repairs. And now this is the one time of the game when they have a giant stack of ships being built where sinking, just damaging them and forcing them to go back into that pile actually means something, because it might be the rest of the year before those even come out. And theoretically, if they haven't built all those, that's going to stay there for 45, and then whatever new ships come in 45 go to the bottom of the list. It's just that's never happened. They've always produced everything every year. Okay, so 1 more battle. I might end up spending 2 battle plan points on this one. This one we're a little weaker. We have the Yorktown, the destroyer, and a cruiser. And we're against Battleship Fleet 1, which is just a cruiser and just a destroyer. So destroyer and cruiser. And the cruiser we chose is a weak one. They have a transport with a boatload of guys. Boatload, pun intended. They have 2 planes that could go after our carrier. And they have an injured unit in the foxhole. We have 2 Marines and 3 planes of our own. And that's it. So I think, given what I see here, there's no need to keep my destroyer behind. I'll send him up to help out with that battle. And the Yorktown is really going to be the heart of it, right? The Yorktown's going to have 3 bombers and a Hellcat. And we're going to focus on those ships in the beginning here. And so we're going all in on the ships. But let's see how many turns this is going to be. I rolled a 9, so this is going to be a 4-turn battle. I definitely want a diving attack to be an extra hit. I have 2 Marines, so I want to roll an extra infantry attack. And I'm thinking adjust the battle duration by 1 so we have extra turns to cream them. We do have leathernecks for free. So I'm thinking of doing damage control, but because they could theoretically attack my carrier, but they need to roll a 2 to hit my carrier. So I'm doing a bit of a gamble that I'm going to be okay. So 3, 4, I have 2 more points, and that would be only spending 1. I can adjust the battle duration by 1 to make sure I have enough turns to win. I would do the naval surface attack, gets 1 extra hit, but I'm only rolling 2s for them, so I may never hit the whole game. I'm going to do this one, stop a hit on an aircraft. So that way if they anti-air hit me, I can cancel it. That's what I'm going to do. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They get 2 battle plans. There's number 1. Air combat. So their bomb rolls just got a lot deadlier against my carrier. Oh, come on. And then no attacks in the ocean, which is no problem. So we're going all in. We're going after their ships and the transports with my bombers. My fighter is actually going to stay behind to protect my carrier. The 3 land planes are going to stay over the land. Well, actually, no. These 2 are good against sea. So these 2 are going to go against the ships there as well. What's interesting is unless their bombers roll high enough, they're probably going to be attacking the island and not... I'm going to send this guy to the island to dogfight anything that attacks that island. Whatever I roll, both bombers are going to. These 2 are going to go join in with the ships. So, because their bombing value is good. So let's just see what they do. They better not roll a 7 or better, because then my carrier is in trouble. And I should defend my carrier, shouldn't I? Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Yeah, I'm going to defend my carrier. All right. It's a 4. They're going after the island. I made the bad last-minute decision. They're going after the island. Okay, so fair enough. First, we're going to roll anti-aircraft for them. They have 2 2s. And those are misses. So let's roll for their damage first. Against the island, they roll a 4 and a 6. The blue will be the 6. 9 is a miss, and the 6 is a hit, and I will use Leathernecks to stop it. So we avoided the hit. I guess that's something. Now, I have 1 bomber that was staying over the island. He was my my B-24. He rolls a 6. So we hit, and we actually finish off this infantry, or we can kill one of their planes. And I'm going to just finish off the infantry. And then we can kill the planes later. We've killed a whole lot of their infantry this turn. So as much as they've killed ours, we've done the same. Oh, I forgot. They got extra to their bomb rolls. What did they roll? Crap, I can't remember. Their 6 hit with a 6. The 4 missed. I don't know if they hit me. They may have hit me with their bomber. I forgot about... Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't remember what they rolled. So it's possible I may have taken 1 extra hit because of that. And I was getting so excited that they missed. Okay, so now I have 3 dice at 6. But then I sent my 2 land planes that also have a 6. So I have 5 dice at a 6 going after their transports and their cruisers. So we have an awful roll, only 2 hits. So 2 hits, this will make it a 3rd hit. And so what we did was we completely destroyed a cruiser, and then we damaged the destroyer. We can't hit the transport because we just didn't do enough hits. So that's what we ended up doing. All right, and then now we go to the surface combat. They get to roll 2. They rolled a 7. We rolled 2 2s, and we missed. And then we go to the ground combat, 2 Marines, and then I get to roll an extra attack because of charge, but I'm gonna actually wait. I'm just gonna roll 2 dice because there's only 2 airfields. And of course I miss with one of them, but I do hit 1 airfield, and so we're gonna destroy this plane of theirs. Of course, I missed. And now they land with all their junk. So that's what it's going to look like. Bracket-wise, the battalion's at 0. A couple of them are at 1. The transport goes away. So I could try to destroy that destroyer, but at this point, I have to hit the ground. So we're now at 3 turns remaining, and they draw 2 battle plans. The 2 battle plans are air combat, gets the extra, and then first light. So there is no carrier group. We're going all in against the island, so let's see what their bomber is going to do. My fighter is still going to protect my carrier. They did roll that they're going after my carrier. So I get to do a dogfight with my fighter. Oh, I missed. Okay, so now I'm rolling a 4-2 for my anti-air, and that 4 is 1 hit. So I at least reduced him, so he's down to a 1. And if he rolls a 1, I'm gonna be angry. Oh, that was almost a 1, look at that. Oh no, that was a 4, never mind. Dice, you gotta love them and hate them at the same time. Okay, so I know I got a little ahead of myself, but I wanted to see if they were going to get our carrier. Okay, now my bombers are all over the island. I have 3 4s I get to roll. Actually, 5 4s. And that's 3 hits. So I'll take that. And then I have a 6. Yes. And that's another hit. So 4 hits against the island. So battalion is gone. And I don't think it matters. So this 16th Infantry is also gone. We have, it looks like we have killed well over 10 infantry units so far this round. Okay, so bombing run is done. And now we have 2 naval attack. And it was required a 2 to hit, so I did hit with 1. So another infantry gets hit. And remember, these infantry are on the beach, so they don't get to attack yet. Yeah, and that infantry definitely would have had to take the hit. I couldn't hit the destroyer, for example. Not yet. Now I can. After this last infantry dies, or when the final infantry that's left, he's the same value as the destroyer. So I could choose if my surface ships were to hit. Okay, now the 2 Marines are attacking, and this time I am going to do the extra attack. So it's going to become 3. And still 2 hits out of the 3. It's so bizarre that I keep missing. But this is 1 hit, and then this is the 2nd hit. So now I'm down to just 1 infantry. We have 2 battle rounds left. So I'm actually going to... I'm sending these after their destroyer, and these to also after their destroyer, and then everything else will just go after the land. They do have 1... Actually, this infantry wouldn't have... Here, back up. This infantry would not have taken damage because they still had 1 airfield left. So this guy gets destroyed. So that infantry is at full strength. But he now moves into the foxholes for this turn. So what do I want to do? I'm sending these 3 after the destroyer, and then everything else is just going to stay for the land. How about that? And then I have a fighter now that I don't need to protect my carriers with, and he will also go over the land. All right, so anti-air for them is a 1. Okay, and then I get to roll 3 6s. There's a hit and 2 misses, just like my luck. However, 1 hit was all I needed. Destroyer group gone. So this is Borneo. Battleship Fleet 1 and Surface Fleet 1 are both completely eliminated. So those go aside. I think I got a nice advantage now. Whatever fleets they have are getting damaged pretty hard. So I'm doing something right in this game. Now for that single infantry, we have a fighter of 2, and then we have 2 4s from my planes, and there's 2 hits right there. Their fighter is eliminated, or their infantry, and we win. So we actually won quite well. The stopping the hit on the aircraft wasn't even needed. And these ships come home. So what did I take? I think I spent one of my supply points, right? I'm realizing I never actually spent the supply points. That's what I didn't increase the turns by 1. I did do a charge, a barrel roll, that's 3. Yes, I spent 1. I spent 1 of my points. So I actually have 1 left over. Borneo is now ours, and we get to flip it to the good side. And then these 3 planes are still there. And we are at the end with this submarine needing a repair. These 2 guys needing a repair, and that's how it looks for them. So we've finally got all of the Anzac area is under control. All right, so we got to roll for their reinforcements. This is a 6 plus 15. Jesus, that's a 21. What did they have damaged? 20, 19. 19 doesn't make a lick of difference. They're 18 or more is a maximum reinforce. I mean, I don't even know why I bother rolling. So 3, 4, and 3 are coming out. So 3, and then 4 infantry. The 4th one is because of the 1944 rules, and then 3 of these. I also realized I forgot something at the beginning of this turn. We forgot to do this check. So Mariana Island gets 2 battalions. I'm screwing up a lot, and these are like mental mistakes. Iwo Jima gets 1. Philippines gets 2. Good news is New Guinea, Gilbert, Wake Island, Caroline got nothing, Marshall Islands got 1. Borneo got 0. So nothing impacted our battles is what I'm getting at. But we need to give 1 to Marshall. So I feel good. We didn't screw up. I mean, we screwed up, but it didn't affect the game. And then, yes, I'm in supply. I have enough points to not lose the game. I need at least 6. I have, I think, 8. And then eventually, by the end of the year, I need to have 7. But I'm currently at 8. So I'm doing great. Okay, so before I forget, let's apply the battalions now. So for May, June, which is what we're moving to, Iwo Jima, Okinawa, and Borneo get 1. So Okinawa and Iwo Jima are going to get 1. Borneo does not, because we control it now, so neener. Okay. Philippines gets 1. And then Marshall Islands gets 1. And that's over here. Okay. Swinging back this way, we are going to produce 2 light carriers, our first light carriers in the war. And these are the only ships that are going to be available this round because we have a blank queue here for this particular one. Our big mega fleet is going to be available next turn. So, I mean, it's at least something, right? So with the 2 light carriers, I'm going to probably have to play defense, right? I can't really go on offense with 2 light carriers, but I can use them to help defend anything that I think they're going to attack. And we're going to have a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, next week is our best fleet, and it's going to get even better because we get another big carrier in that fleet, and we're going to get a battleship and 2 more subs. So I know I lost a sub, and then 3 Australian infantry are now available. A plane is available, and let's get them on the board. And then the 3 Australian ones, those will help reinforce our Australian territory, which is now fully under control. And we get, for May and June, 31 points. I am going to subtract 1 to repair the sub, and then 2 to repair the 2 infantry that got injured on the Solomon Islands. So that would be 30, 29, 28 points. All right, so 28. Okay, so we had 8 points worth of ships that became available, so I can spend 8 points to put more ships out. What do I want to do? We have so many carriers to build if we want to get more carriers out there. But you know what? I will do 2 more light carriers, sure, for 8 points. So I'll take this 10 away and bring back a 2. All right, and then for 6 points, I want to get some infantry going. We lost a lot of infantry. So here's a Marine for 3. And then there's another Marine for 3. I don't know if I want to do that, but that consumes the queue for several turns now. But yeah, I guess I'm going to do that. So 6 points. So do this. Bring back a 4. And then we have 3 points for planes. But we're only 2 away from finishing the plane queue, so we're going to finish the plane queue for 2. And that now allows us to have a capacity of 10. So we can now build 10 points worth of planes if we wanted to. We already have 3 on the board, so we could do 7 towards planes. Or we can do 10 to finish up our morale here. So we can do 10 for that. It'd be nice to get some planes going, but this is actually nice as well. Because what I could do is I could force the battleship or something, or like a destroyer, or even this Yorktown, but I can force this destroyer to join those light carriers so they can get some support. I mean, of all turns, when you're on a defensive mode like this, you really want to scout. So that way you could send your carrier somewhere it's safe. You don't want to send it into a hornet's nest. So what it would do is so if I finish this, I get a free rush. So I can get like this destroyer completed, or I can get another carrier. So then I have 3 carriers in my current fleet. I think that's powerful because I don't necessarily need another carrier in my next fleet. But the other thing is I can just spend 7 points and get some planes going. That's my dilemma. We could really use some planes, I guess. So for example, this is 3 points. I don't think there's any that are costing only 1 point anymore, unless I get the Australian one. And to be quite frank, it's not that good. So let's just get some 2-pointers, right? So 3 points for a Corsair, which are darn nice, those Corsairs. And then maybe let's get some B-17s, replenish some of our land ships that got knocked down in a B-24. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these would go into 2, this would go into 3. So we can get some nice Q going there. And unfortunately, yeah, I mean, so that's going to leave me with 5 points. That 5 points won't finish this Q. And I'm going to save it because I personally believe I need to scout this turn. I do have 1 point left over. So I could, you know, use that. Yeah, this manufacturing thing is so hard. We now have only 3 turns left in 1944, and I don't think I'm anywhere close to having this manufacturing stuff built. I don't feel like I have nearly enough points to do what I want to do. Maybe, you know, you gotta just stop spending 4 points to scout. I mean, 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 turns in a year. 4 times 6 is 24 manufacturing points. So, but the problem is without the scouting, then you're going in blind all the time. But you know, with my new hold rule, we actually do know what they're doing some of the time. Okay, right before I sign off, this is a long video. I forgot that after the Japanese did their production, they produced ships. So let's see where they go. So first ship they produced is a carrier, full-blown, and Carrier Fleet 2 has just a submarine, just one ship. Oh, these two go away. These 2 light carriers go away, and they're gonna go to the bottom of the stack. So Carrier Fleet 2 has 1 ship. Carrier Fleet 4 only has 1 ship. Carrier Fleet 4, however, has a full-blown carrier in its queue. So we'll put it on. Now we have another full-size carrier. And I think this one will go to Carrier Fleet 2. And then we have another full-size carrier, and that will go to Carrier Fleet 4. So Battleship Fleet 1 and Surface Fleet 1 are still nil. There's nothing in them. So they're sitting in Japan with nothing to do. So what a great turn to not spend any scouting points, right? 2 of them we know are going to do nothing. And then this one for sure is going to move. And as far as holding goes, it's only going to be these 2 fleets, and that's it. Nope, I take it back. There's one more. Surface Fleet 3 is holding as well. So 3 of them are going to hold. And per the rules, everywhere you see on the board that has an objective token, the Japanese will not move any of their aircraft or battalions or infantry. So that's, again, that's a deviation from 1942 and 43. So it actually makes the rolling a lot less. This one would have moved, but there's only 1 guy. So I'm literally only rolling for the fleets, which is this one. This is the only fleet not in Japan, and then everything in Japan is the other thing I'm rolling for. That's it. I actually don't think I need to spend scouting points. So we'll go ahead and resume this in the next video. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome.